So I really felt like that last video was a very eventful episode because a lot of cities had fallen, a lot of new wars had broken out.
And we may potentially see even more cities fall here because a big coalition kind of was declared against Alexander. I don't know if I should call it a big coalition, but Russia, Great Britain, and the Ashanti all decided to declare on Alexander. Now, there's no major fronts that I see in these wars, unless, of course, more people decide to join in. Actually, this might be interesting because the Ashanti do have these North African coastal cities, so they maybe will be able to take Timbuktu. The most interesting conflict that just recently broke out would be between Queen Victoria and these colonies that Alexander has in Scotland. So it depends, though. This is going to be very interesting, what happens in this next turn, because I don't know if France is going to take this back or if they're going to retreat to defend Orleans. If England decides to retreat her fleet to the north of the British Isles, if she continues to go after Orleans, what happens? Is there going to be a peace deal? We're going to find out right now. A few people have peaced out with Kimberley. I believe Japan, that's what happened. Rome and France peaced out, which was an excellent move. Very smart move by Augustus, because more than likely those musketeers would have taken Paris back, which would have killed the population, and this city would have been essentially useless. It would have been, a fixer-upper once again. And the tiles around Paris really aren't fixed for some reason. I don't know what the AI has been doing. But bam, Denmark has pieced out with Kimberley. This will be very... Oh my gosh, now we have the Netherlands. So I think it's safe to say that more people will join in against Greece. Something to worry about for Alexander is that now that Augustus is free to do whatever he wants, he might set his sights on the east, which would be the major front between these two civs. That would be huge. Greece is pretty safe from most people, I'd say. Queen Victoria needs to watch out. I don't think that Napoleon will give her a peace deal. I don't think so. There's 4 units still. Although Queen Victoria does have a pretty awesome fleet, which is interesting. Oh, bam. Wait a second. Was that settler stolen away? I believe it was. This was a British settler, and this got stolen away, I believe. And bam, the Greeks are going to settle in Iceland. First city in Iceland. At least I think so. It's possible that they don't. Anything else? No. So Australia, I believe, is back at peace. Yes, they are, because this guy's been trapped. That sucks for Australia. Poor little musketman has been trapped. He can't do anything about that, because more than likely Australia and Kimberley are going to hate each other for the remaining part of this game. So that guy's never going to come back until that tile gets bought, or I guess, culturally expanded into. Anyways, Indonesia looking real good. Real good. Let's go to the next turn. We're about 2 turns away before we get some information, because every 25 turns we get kind of a window popping up telling us things about the world. And because we don't have the info addicts in this series, those are very crucial. So, something like military, technology, things like that will provide us with a lot of extra information. How the Koreans doing? Koreans are looking good, but of course they're holding on to their turtle ships for too long. The Japanese were moving a huge fleet to the Pacific, to the South Pacific, to probably attack the Kimberley capital. But now they're going to have to double back around because they've got nothing else better to do. Now, Saigon might fall potentially. Is there a melee unit nearby? No, Siam has no melee units. That's not good. Vietnam already has riflemen, so maybe I was wrong about saying Eastern Asia is behind in technology. I haven't seen that many riflemen anywhere else. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. How's Russia doing? Russia's not attacking Germany. They were attacking Istanbul, but not anymore. They've kind of stopped. See, Byzantium, you can't even say that Byzantium would be a big threat to Alexander at this point, because Byzantium, Theodora is doing really well in score, but she's got no land units, at least if they're mostly on the southeastern part of Constantinople. Greece would be attacking from the northwest. There's not a lot of units here to defend, I don't think. It'd be pretty close. It'd be very close. Oh, Rome is going after Madrid now. That's right, because they're still at war. So he's going to be distracted. I don't think Augustus will be declaring on Alexander anytime soon. This is going to be a tough city. Queen Victoria might not hold on to this. She's going to really need all her ship of the lines to defend Lyon. She really is. How's everything going on here? So she's trying. The British are trying. If she pieces out Tibet and Arabia. If she pieces out with France, then maybe. But like I said, I don't think Napoleon's going to be giving Victoria a peace deal anytime soon. It doesn't seem likely, because I think that she has a chance. Or I mean, Napoleon thinks he has a chance of taking the city back, which he does. He definitely does. Oh my gosh! So this is going to be a very interesting siege of Madrid, and actually Rome desperately needs this. Ooh, Mongolia and Tibet, because Rome needs to connect these colonies in Africa to his mainland. He really, really does. And if Greece doesn't start expanding more into Eastern Europe, then it looks like Augustus is probably going to be the winner of Western Europe, at least. Oh, Russia is moving through Polish lands. Remember, they are at war, so there is an interesting front here. I didn't consider that. Egypt and Morocco have peaced out. Have the Congo destroyed all of Egypt just yet? Not yet. They're having a little bit of trouble. Congo is number 1 in terms of score, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are number 1. And they're not technically the most powerful, but yeah, they are the number 1 in score. I know I don't have the single player score list on at the moment because I wanted to have more freedom to look at some of the information, some of the notifications. Greece continuing to settle, and bam. Okay, so there goes another Egyptian city. Which one was it? It was the middle one, right? Yeah, the one in the Sahara. And so now there remains just one. There's a knight that could probably just walk into the city very soon. So Egypt will be destroyed if Ethiopia doesn't decide to join in. Persia building a bigger and bigger fleet off the Arabian Peninsula. Okay, so what do we see? World's most wonderful people. This is kind of a useful, I guess, window to have popped up. We've got the Congo at 6, which is probably one of the reasons why he's winning the score. We need to keep in mind that, the single-player score list is going to be highly manipulated because of wonders. And I really don't like that. I really don't like that there are so many points given to just because of wonders. I realize that wonders are good. I don't know. I'm kind of not a wonder builder for the most part in my own campaigns, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but I think they're slightly overrated, and I feel like they shouldn't be given as much points as they are currently to countries that have a lot of wonders. Like, I don't know. Like Byzantium. Actually, Byzantium doesn't have a lot of wonders, so I don't know why they're so high on the list. They're like 4th place right now. Anyway, so the Congo, the Sioux, Indonesia, Catherine, Augustus, Poland, Tibet, all with 2 there. And then, yeah, the Sioux and the Congo in 2nd and 1st place, respectively. I think respectively is the right term to use there. Not entirely sure. Okay, so the Vietnamese have brought in some reinforcements, a rifleman reinforcement. Will they continue to go after more Siamese cities? The Vietnamese have a pretty good navy. Looks like we might start to see Southeast Asia begin to kind of blob out here. And the Mongolians are going to begin to attack Tibet, which is going to make things interesting. Mongolia is going to attack Tibet, and notice that Russia really hasn't begun to expand much more. They're not continuing to expand. So that's kind of interesting. And Mongolia is not really doing the same thing either. They're kind of going more towards the east. Maybe they want to fight more, which is something that seems like that would definitely be Genghis Khan. But yeah, I think maybe he wants more war. Anything else from California? No, nothing else. But the Chinook might be going to war soon. I'm surprised. I mean, North America has stayed really quiet as of recently. Oh, is Texas? Who's going to take it over? Oh my gosh. Will it be Texas or will it be the Mayans? Both need it. It's going to be Texas. Wow, I'm surprised that they actually managed to do that. I thought it was going to take a lot longer. So that's huge. I would say that's really big. Texas is looking better and better. I think that it's possible still that the Sioux don't end up winning North America. I think we could... There's a few possibilities. If a bunch of people were to declare war on the Sioux, because the Sioux aren't super powerful, but if a bunch of people were to declare war on the Sioux, I think they could totally just collapse because the Sioux are right in the middle. So if they were facing a threat from Washington, Texas, I mean, we could see maybe Texas and Washington working together. Texas and America. An independent Texas, America. California wouldn't really... I mean, California's not really good at all. They're really behind in technology. They're just settling. They're just trying to survive. And I got to give them credit for that. But But yeah, no, I think the South could definitely rise up against the Sioux. Texas, maybe Washington. Canada doesn't have any immediate borders, and I don't think the Iroquois would really provide that much extra help. I mean, they still have Mohawk warriors, which is way behind in technology. The Sioux are continuing to settle, though. But yeah, no, North America is still very divided. In terms of South America, there's a siege of this Brazilian city. A few Brazilian cities, actually. And it's very obvious that two powers are pretty much rising up out of Latin America, which is, well, I guess not Latin America. I apologize, but Argentina and the Inca are becoming those two powers. Bam! We do have the Panama Canal. That's awesome. The AI managed to not mess this up. It's amazing. So that's going to be pretty crucial, especially since the Inca have some Caribbean cities. They settled this one. So yeah, the Inca might actually be a bigger threat to North America than they're thinking. But I don't know, because now the Argentinians are really doing a good job here in the most southern part of South America as they continue to take over more and more cities. It's going to be interesting. Argentina will be an interesting threat to the Inca. I would definitely think so. Let's go and check on Eastern Asia. I'm sorry, Eastern Europe. Catherine continuing to move through Polish lands. He might be attacking Vienna very soon. But most of these Greek units haven't really moved that much, so they're ready to reinforce at any point from an attack from Catherine. How's Orleans? So no city was taken. Orleans, I just don't think that Queen Victoria has enough tiles here to take over. She needs more tiles. She needs more ships. And she's divided, too. She can't be fighting two different fronts. She doesn't have that big of a fleet, so there's no way. So France is probably going to stay around for a little bit longer. Spain just built their Terracillos, which are very powerful units, which I think will more than likely have a much better chance of defending from Rome. So I don't think Rome is going to be taking Madrid anytime soon. Portugal just isn't very powerful, so I don't think Portugal's going to be able to walk into Spanish lands. Anything going on in the Middle East? Still very shocked that nothing. It stayed so peaceful in the Middle East. Loving the Persian fleet, though. Persian fleet's looking good. Just the Persian Empire in general is looking pretty good. So will Siam take this over? He still needs a melee unit, and he doesn't have any. He has none. No melee units. The Mongolians probably getting ready to begin their own onslaught of the Tibetan Empire. Maybe the Tibet capital. There are a few hills nearby, so that will make a difference. That will ultimately make a pretty big difference, I would say. Turn 252. I do want to continue to see... Oh, that's right. What's going on with Denmark? Is that big coalition been captured by Australia? Oh, so Australia did not peace out Kimberly. I thought that they were some of the... I thought that they were one of the icons that had popped up with all the people that were peacing out with Kimberly, but I guess not. That's big. Kimberly really needs to continue to settle. Now, I know Japan has peaced out with them, because they would have begun to attack their capital, but... yeah, Australia's doing a pretty good job. Kimberly will be safe for a little bit. I don't think Australia's going to trek across the desert to destroy this capital, but who knows? I think it's only a matter of time before maybe the Japanese take over Kimberly's capital. Surprised the Japanese haven't decided to colonize more of northern Australia. I definitely figured that would be something that would have happened, but I guess not. I guess they have no interest in that. I mean, I'm actually just shocked that Indonesia hasn't declared on anybody else. Ooh, Indonesia settled their first city in a long time. Just their first, yeah, their sixth city. It's been a while since they've decided to continue to expand. And the AI doesn't seem to be super good at conserving jungles. I've noticed that they have been definitely cutting down a lot of the jungles. I mean, the best example would be to look at the Amazon. It depends, I think, on maybe the AI flavor. So, for some reason, the Colombians have been... Well, the Colombians have a lot of jungle tiles to the south. I know that you can't keep all jungle tiles. Saigon was taken by Siam. It seems like the AI is somewhat okay at conserving jungle tiles. I know that they can't keep all of them because that's just not a smart move to keep all jungle tiles because you just won't be able to work anything. But, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say how good the AI is at conserving them and using that for extra science when universities get built, but we'll see. Is Texas at war with the Mayans too? I'm not sure. But anyways, Queen Victoria has peaced out with Denmark. What are the Sioux thinking? Sioux might be thinking about an attack on the Chinook very soon. Which, if the South rises up, I mean, look at America. Holy crap! I've been missing out. Why have they built? Actually, that's not super surprising. Minutemen are very easy to build. They cost like half the production normally than regular musketmen. It looks like they might be setting their sights on Sioux territory. They also need to be careful of Canada. North America is actually really interesting. I really like what's going on in North America. It's so divided still. Still very up in the air, I think. Obviously, the Sioux are number one, but because of the geographical placement of the Sioux and where Sitting Bull is located, it doesn't seem like he's solidified in that spot. Like Russia, for instance, is pretty much here forever. They will be that power. Ooh, look at that. Greece going after Berlin. Or maybe that's Poland. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, no one's going to stop Russia just because of their placement. No one's out here towards the east. Maybe when Mongolia and Russia meet, then maybe. But at the moment, no. And the Sioux, it's a completely different situation because they're surrounded by all sides. By all sides. And they have most of their military to the north. Even if they were to bring these guys to reinforce, they're going to lose cities, and they're going to lose cities with a lot of population. 15, 11, 16, 18, before those reinforcements come. Maybe not all 4 of those cities, but I'm just saying that it would still be pretty interesting. Canada stayed very quiet with their own colonization. They haven't really gone past anything else. Newfoundland, or I guess Newfoundland would be this small tile, these tiles here, but they could still colonize more tundra. I know that that's not the most ideal spot to colonize, but still. A couple of peace deals between the Dutch, Novgorod, Tibet, and the Dutch. How's Novgorod doing? They're okay. I don't think Novgorod's at war with Greece. So let's look at these borders here. I'm surprised that Saigon finally fell. And Saigon was a much bigger city. So ultimately, Vietnam lost a lot there. They definitely lost a lot. So Southeast Asia is still very divided with Tibet, Siam, Vietnam, India, the Champa, Persia even here. And maybe the Indonesians can kind of clean out this area. A lot of very divided area. I mean, even the subcontinent of India with the Mughals, the Persians. I mean, the Persians are pretty okay. The problem is this part of Persia. And Russia is going to be a big, big thorn in Darius' side as Russia continues to expand, if he decides to do that. And the Congo have had some trouble here, destroying the final Egyptian city. Ultimately, they will do it, but it's going to distract the Congo for a little bit longer. It definitely will. And the Ashanti are launching an attack against Greece, so Greece might finally lose a city. It's likely that they finally lose a city. Anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.